that we did what we had to do, went out, played well and did our jobs, and then now it's time to move on. You know, obviously a huge task in front of us this week with Iowa.
Did that game against the Citadel, how did it help prepare you for what's next?
Just giving you one more game on your belt, letting guys run and run to the ball, tackle people, just getting a little bit more experience for some of our younger kids. They got to get in the game too towards the end of the game. Even though the scheme obviously that we're going to play against Iowa's got to be vastly different from what occurred at Citadel, it's just it was just one more night of competition.
Is that Coach Stoops got a question?
When you look at the receivers, Colianos, I probably butchered that pronunciation.
I can't do it either.
Sam, what can they do, and what have you seen from them on tape?
Big and fast. You know, they do a tremendous job adjusting to the ball, making the catch, the over-the-shoulder catch, the deep ball. I mean, they're threats. They're serious threats, and they've got the track record to back it up. You see the plays that. The big plays that have occurred over the last year with these guys, and you know it's going to be a tough week because I mean you're talking about some serious size on these guys too, as well as big speed.
When you look at Stanzi, what do you see in him? What do you make of him?
Nightmare. It's a nightmare watching the guy. He releases the ball so quick. He makes such quick, intelligent decisions. He knows exactly what to do with the ball. You can see the guy going through his progressions, through his reads. I mean, you can watch his head. It's here, there, and then all of a sudden, bam, there's a check down if he doesn't have it. He knows exactly what to do with it. Throws a tremendous ball. I mean, the spiral, the tight spiral he's got on that, and the velocity. You know, the guy, he's a big-time player. I'm sure he's going to be a big-time prospect in the NFL, too. He's a great player.
They really do a lot to milk the clock and do those long drives. Do you rotate more on that, or do you just try to keep your core guys out there and hope to get them in and out?
Hey, we're just hoping to put 11 guys on the field that can compete and be smart and do the things that it's going to take for us to have a chance. I mean, Iowa's a great team. Traditionally, as far as subbing, you know, that occurs more so up in the front four than in the back seven guys, really. Those back seven guys are used to playing all day long. So that you'd have to ask Coach Mike Tui about that and see whether or not he plans to sub any more or any less.
You've had so many of these showdown games in your career. When you come to work in the morning, you like it better?
You better believe it. I mean, that's what you live for as a coach. It's, you know, you wake up with a huge purpose. Usually when you go to sleep at night, you're tossing and turning, you're thinking about things. And quite honestly, most of those coaches, you wake up and you've got a piece of paper beside your bed and you jot down a few notes. You wake up in the morning, and some mornings you wake up and they're scattered. There's going to be 10 different notes about things that you're afraid that if you didn't get up and write it down that you would forget in the morning, and you know, it might be important. So yeah, it's always on your mind, and what a great challenge these guys present.
Mike categorized the play of the linebackers as a relief. What have you seen from that group, and what have you liked so far?
Oh, it's been a huge positive. Again, you know, we are where we are. We've played the 2 games, and nothing more, nothing less. But they've done exactly what we've needed to do those first 2 games, and that's been huge, especially considering how we performed in August camp. I don't think it was any surprise that we weren't up to par in a lot of areas across the board. So it's been a relief. It's been we're right where we need to be right now, and now we're getting ready to take the next step, which is going to be a severe one.
With Hall out at least indefinitely or day to day or whatever it is, who steps in and you know, what can he do?
You know, we're still going to check on Adam, as you said. He's day to day, but that if he were not to be able to play, that would be tough, because he is. The guy's big, rangy. He's gotten a lot of playing experience. The first week against Toledo did a great job, and he brings the element of physicalness to the table. I mean, he's a tough guy. I mean, he's going to run through offensive players, and he does the same thing on special teams. And he's a guy who's going to bring the big lick. So that would be tough if he's not able to go. We do not know yet. We're going to check the guy day to day. If he does not, then that's why we recruited Marquise Flowers. I mean, he's a young guy that also is big and can run and hit, and it'd be his time. It's just that he has not had as many reps as Adam.
When you walked through that Wildcat walk Saturday, I noticed you were about the last guy through.
I was.
Have you had different ones in places you've been?
Nothing like this. I mean, I couldn't be more impressed, and I mean, it was staggering to me, the support that was out there for U of A. It was unbelievable to me. First of all, pulling up in the bus and seeing the amount of tailgating going on and the amount of fans there, that was staggering alone. And then to get off and do the walk. I mean, to say that was impressive would be a huge understatement. That was huge, huge. All of our players felt the same way too. That was what a tremendous thing we've got going here to have that. And then on top of that, it was my own first game in the stadium, and to see the student section dressed in red and the support that we had there. I mean, you know, my hat is off to U of A. It's something special.
How'd you get all the way in the back?
Talking to my wife and kids as I got off, they were there, and so I was talking with them a little bit. Had to hustle to try to catch up because I knew I'd get left behind, and the crowd would close, and they would say, "Yeah, sure, you're a coach, yeah, right? Yeah, we're not letting you in, buddy."
Greg, how do you think you guys physically match up against Iowa?
Well, you know, I was the established guys. We're there trying to claw our way up into that echelon where they are, and we're not there. I mean. But we don't apologize for what we've got, what we're going to put on the field. I mean, we're going to go out and let it rip and see how we do. But, you know, we've heard the statistics. I believe I heard the other day that Iowa's been finished in the top 10 4 times out of the last 8 years, something like that, which is staggering. I mean, the guy does a great job. Coach Ferenz does a fantastic job. And, you know, they've recruited extremely well, and they're always highly representable in the Big Ten, and they're where we aim to be in our own conference. But no, we do not have the track record that they do yet. But we're going to go out and let the chips fall how they may.
The Wildcat Walk, do you think that makes a measurable, discernible difference for the players when it comes time for the game, or is it just a nice thing within the atmosphere? It is what it is.
I think just listening to our players, I know they appreciate it as much as I did. It seemed like they were just as shocked because, again, bringing a brand new tradition. A lot of those guys I talked with, they said they were totally unaware too of the amount of people that are in the mall area before a game. They'd never seen that previous to this year with the route that the bus took to drop them off at the locker room. So they were just as shocked and surprised and happy because we heard from the players when we pulled up a lot of oohing and awing going on.
You think it's going to become a fashion show? You had Ricky rocking the suit and Adam rocking the pink. And
Absolutely. I mean, we already talked about that. I heard guys talking about that already, beyond a shadow of a doubt. And it might escalate toward the NFL. When you go to a locker room pregame with an NFL team, I know my wife used to, when I worked in that league, she used to, particularly in New Orleans, she used to always tell me, I like to go just to watch and see exactly what Joe Horn's going to have on, what Dante Stallworth's going to have on, what hat they're going to have on with what suit, because it's going to be pretty spectacular.
Anything else for Coach Brown? Thanks a lot, Coach.
Appreciate it.